Hello everyone, EV is with you. I think it's no secret that you could see me in different places in the image of my character Spotted Deer and many other avatars. This is a video message to everyone who knows me, to my many friends, acquaintances, as well as for AllessaYa and August, because all your friends, everyone who works with you and everyone who knows you should know about your unfair and brazen actions. If you both thought that no one would find out about your unfair actions or that it had all subsided, then you were wrong, again. I rarely use my voice. Moreover, I had never recorded such videos in my life, but it made me think that if I remained silent and did nothing, I would not forgive myself. The story I want to tell you is more important than ever. Such that you could just get in a car and crash into a cliff at full speed. It's not very rosy, but you'll definitely get something useful out of it. Actions that will not lead to locks and so on. Why did I make this video? Because you have caused me pain that I could never have imagined being here in SL. I would not wish this on anyone. I want justice and honesty. Common sense, which they unfortunately lost. I want to protect someone from their arrogance and injustice, and also to be treated normally, as it was before, as a person to a person or a friend to a friend. No one knows how our lives will turn out, but we can influence certain circumstances so that certain actions do not happen that worsen the lives of one or more groups of people. And so, let's go. It all started with a simple and serene thought. May it seem strange and wild to everyone, or maybe someone even consider it stupid. But it doesn't matter. For a long time, as long as I can remember, I have been walking with different avatars in search of myself, in search of my own, like many others, here in SL, through the years. It could have been anyone, from the simplest circle of the first version, so sloppy and funny, to my character Spotted Deer, custom made. The way you see me right now. I didn't think that such nonsense could happen to me, no, but it can happen to any of you who are in SL or who draw textures, character mods, to order. Please be attentive to what I say in order to prevent such vile and disgusting cases. I'm not calling for insulting anyone, blocking, humiliating, bullying or hating someone, no. This is terrible. I need justice that will be applied to me and will be applied to the rest of the customers of textures and characters from digital artists, who might have suffered the same way I did, but they stopped fighting it. For a very long time, I have been looking for a digital artist for my order who will be ready to help me make a custom and unique texture for my Spotted Deer character, which outwardly, I emphasize, outwardly, will not look like the others. After a long search, a year later, in December 2024, I found out that one of my new friends could draw custom mods. It was Alessa Morgenstern, with Nick in the SL, AllessaYa. She walks around as a light-colored Kieran character with a single horn on her head. Well, I think many of you know her. And, I think you can hear me too, Allessa. This speech is primarily about you and your friend. I'll repeat it again. I am not calling for insulting anyone, blocking, humiliating, bullying or hating anyone. It was a normal warm day. On December 11, 2024, I invited Allessa to make a texture for me, after which she agreed to help me and we started working together. Everything was going great, the days were bright and frosty, as it should be in winter. We selected, customized the parts of the color, created special features that will never be similar to anyone else. We compared the drawing, so that she fits me according to my description, and everything is done as usual when creating a custom character. After a while, the work was finally completed and tested, everything was in order and everything was fine with me. The textures I ordered were paid for and transferred to my ownership. Then they were registered with DMCA. The payment was even more than what we agreed on earlier. It doesn't matter, because I appreciate people who try, and I see it right away. You can see some screenshots of our correspondence as they are, except for very personal information. After a while, I needed to fix the details of the legs. Of course it was not done for free. Because I will always be in favor of making sure that the work done is paid for. The agreement was received and AllessaYa corrected my coloring according to my sketch. A few attempts, rebounds and everything is ready. Take a look for yourself. Everything is in order, an additional payment was made and an additional texture was obtained. Both sides are satisfied. I was incredibly cool and pleased to get my character custom made for me. It was my lucky day. Because this is my very first character, which I now rightfully consider my own. Which I have dreamed of for many years. That's why I made him the main character and I still walk like that to this day. Later, I added that I wanted to create another doe character for myself for a very good sum to support her development and make a second character for myself. So that she can prepare for my next order. AllessaYa agreed, as she said she would also enjoy working with her. You can see for yourself, I have nothing to hide except very personal information. After a while, something terrible happened that I could not even imagine. I was shown that the same creator who drew the spotted deer texture for me used our best practices and made as many as 7 identical textures similar in appearance to mine, in different colors, and placed them for sale. Despite our agreement earlier and the elaboration of my main character Spotted Deer. Where did I take a wrong turn and why did all this nonsense happen to me? I ask myself this question every day. And unfortunately I can't find an answer to it. For the only simple reason, it's not about me at all. Sometimes it seems to me that in this way they are trying to see how I will solve this problem. Or I ran into a fake friend and a terribly dishonest digital artist. These were numerous knife stabs on my back. I never thought that my friend could take advantage of our achievements like this, brazenly get into an already worked out commissioned my idea, slightly change the appearance, claiming that it was drawn from scratch. It's possible, but still, the external resemblance was stolen, the external features, transitions and chips of my character were stolen, in fact, without my permission, just on the sly, simply and meanly. You can't do that. After all, everything could have been taken into account at once, and none of this would have happened. Even if you don't look too closely, all the features, the whole general appearance, the transitions that we worked on together, were used for commercial purposes without my notice, without my consent. But that's not the only problem. After all, as you remember, I mentioned earlier that I would be making a second order, for another doe character, which AllessaYa knew about. If it's the same characters that were made in my image and merged, no one knows except her. It was another stab in my back. I'm not appropriating them. No. But no one. I repeat, no one should steal a character's appearance from anyone. Without the owner's permission, because there was an agreement for him, the general elaboration of the idea together, payment and registration. It's the basic human relationships that make us human. But now the most interesting part. You will probably all be surprised, but her friend August, I repeat, August, the content that many people use, including me, supports her actions. This is evidenced by the correspondence with her. What does it mean? This means that according to August, stealing the general or partial appearance of a random character, any one of mine, yours, or your friends is a positive action and is approved by her. I have nothing to hide anymore. Enough. When I first came across the theft of the appearance of my custom character, namely the spotted deer that AllessaYa and I worked on together, I asked AllessaYa to stop profiting from it and remove them. Either she changed their appearance so that they didn't look like me, or she just sold them to me if the money was so important to her. To which she replied that she does whatever she wants and she doesn't have to consult with me. But unfortunately, AllessaYa, you had to consult with me. Because you made new mods, and by a strange coincidence, it was the reindeer mods, and also according to my idea worked out together, which I ordered from you earlier, according to my appearance, which absolutely should not have been done. An order is an order. And touching him without my permission was an incredibly brazen insult to me. I was incredibly amazed by her words that my friend, despite all that we had been working on together, had violated everything herself. She brazenly used the source code, worked out my idea of a character together, which I ordered, paid for and registered, for the sake of incomprehensible profit and incomprehensible PR through sales. It was a very scary day for me. After all, without even looking closely at the comparisons, my character was actually changed without my consent, without notification, without permission, and stolen at the same time. By making other similar mods in my image, undermining my plans for the future, including my character. In search of justice, I wrote August to the creator of the head that I am currently using and that most of you are using to help me figure this out, but it was a mistake. Hoping to solve the problem and stop using mods similar to mine, I received an unexpected rude attack from her instead of solving the problem. This is a very disrespectful, unprofessional attitude towards users and customers. Friendship has overshadowed their heads for the sake of profit and PR so much that they have forgotten about justice, humanity, previous agreements, honesty in simple and elementary things. I tried to negotiate, but it was in vain. Then the lawlessness went on. Instead of admitting that they made a big mistake without consulting me or even notifying me about it, I received threats and blockages. Which they actually did, because it's very simple, instead of solving the problem that has arisen. But the problem has not gone away and will not go away by such methods, but on the contrary it becomes even bigger and more significant. From that moment on, I realized that they had gone too far. That I need massive publicity to immediately stop this kind of unfair actions against any people. We live in a society where traces remain for a very long time. All the festive days in May that I should have spent on vacation, on my beloved friends, acquaintances, and relatives, I spent on people who treated me so meanly, and perhaps with someone else for personal gain, who now have the experience to let down the rest. My plans were disrupted, as were the plans of my other friends who could relax and work with me creating content. Let's sum up what I got instead of friendship out of the blue. My character has been quietly changed, mods have been created that look similar to me and are being sold without my consent, without my permission, without notice. They refuse to change their mods so that they don't look like me. They refuse to withdraw from the sale or compromise. They blamed me for all the troubles, although in fact I have nothing to do with it at all. You did all this behind my back, on the sly, at a time when I was doing my mundane things, unaware of anything. They deliberately blocked my access to the content. Because you screwed it up yourself and don't want to get in touch. I've never seen such an unprofessional attitude before. Ruined my reputation along with yours. They refuse in every possible way to solve my problem, which they themselves have arranged, pretending that it does not concern them. I offered to hold a closed meeting to solve the problem, but I was ignored, and no one came. Just think about this mess and filth. I understand that you two are incredibly friendly and all that, it's understandable, but friendship should have some boundaries. And you have to distinguish between friendship and business. For some reason, you suddenly decided that you are allowed to do anything here, but I will bring you down to earth. You are not alone here, and you must respect the general rules as well as everyone else, preventing such disgusting cases. You've forgotten about the basic things, the rules, the justice that everyone strives for every day, and humanity. It would make absolutely no difference to me if all those mods were not similar to me in appearance, and you consulted with me for at least a minute so as not to make them look like me. It's simple, but as it turns out, it's not for you. You felt that there was no need to inform me. Everything would be fine and without headaches if you didn't abuse my character appearance with such methods. My kindness, my friendship. If you decide to develop, move forward with friends who will always support you, achieve your goals or create content, consider my whole delusional situation. I strongly do not recommend contacting AllessaYa. Being August's friend, she can also easily negotiate against you, as a result of which you will receive an unfair block from August out of the blue, and even remain guilty. Draw your own conclusions. Now I'm turning to you two. August and AllessaYa, do you both really consider yourself unpunished and stealing someone else's property as an approving act in the furry community and in our community in general? Do you really think that such traces will not remain for a long time? Weren't you taught not to steal from others as a child? I do not know why you both did this, but absolutely anyone can be in my place. Even one of your friends, with whom you are constantly standing together, unaware of it. Which unfortunately still uses your content. Your actions are so stupid that it is impossible to imagine. Everyone who uses your content can immediately lose everything. Out of the blue. Do you really think it's right that at the first problem you have, you should immediately run to the lock buttons with your cowardly tails between your legs, instead of solving the problems that you yourself have arranged? If you really think so, then I am very sorry that everyone who uses your content, namely the content from the August store and the content from the Star Cluster store, is at serious risk of being deprived. Just think about what you're doing. Let's be honest with each other. And then everything will be fine. And then our community will flourish. I expect you to treat yourself and others fairly. I am waiting for the termination of the use of my overall similar character appearance. Removing all the unfair and stupid blockages that you've been putting on yourself there, from both of you, because this time, you've fucked up. Admit it. They gave a shit in my soul. They gave a shit on people with their actions who strive and try to be individual every day. You are not gods to do this to me or to others. Get down to earth and listen to the others. When creating content, you must follow the rules of the community, for which it is unclear why you both work with such an attitude at all. I thank all those who watched this video to the end. Unfortunately, I was left with no choice but to record it. But you need to know who you're dealing with. I don't expect subscriptions from you. I don't care. I want this video to be distributed. I want justice, and an end to the bullying of me and my character. Good time. See you later. Hopefully not from that angle anymore. Take care of yourself, your family, and your friends. Take care of your nerves. Your spotted deer is EV.